I'm reading the title, I think we can assume that this woman is not in the wrong, but the OP has posted 2 further updates to the initial post, so I'm really interested to see what happened and what the outcome was. So without any further ado, let's just get straight on with it. Am I wrong for throwing my husband out after finding nudes from the nanny? I'm new to Reddit, but my little sister suggested I ask here. I'm 28 female, my daughter is Cassie, 11 months, and my husband is Alex, 35. So basically, it's just what the title says. I had Cassie and then returned to work, psychologist, as I could never be a stay-at-home mum. I'm actually French but live in the US. So when I returned at the 4-month mark, as I had a difficult birth, we looked around to find a nanny to look after Cassie whilst myself and Alex were at work. We saw a few girls, but then one of Alex's colleagues suggested his daughter, who had dropped out of college. Let's call her Liv, 20 female. Everything went well. Admittedly, I did notice her being quite attached to Cassie, but I brushed it off as a good friendship between the two. She also liked Alex. It was obvious she had a crush on him, always batting her eyelashes and giggling. I actually found it amusing as I'm confident in myself. He always laughed it off with me too. But then on Thursday night, he asked me to do something on his phone whilst he bathed Cassie, and I saw some pictures flash up from Liv. When I looked at them, they were obviously sexy nudes. She was wearing skimpy lingerie and in provocative poses. I looked back at the history and she had been sending these for a while. As far as I can see, Alex has never responded, but obviously texts can be deleted. When I asked him, he got defensive and told me to stop using my psychiatrist tricks on him. I was not happy with his non-answers, and it ended up in a shouting match waking Cassie. So I got him a bag and threw him out. Told him he's not welcome back until I have answers. I'm considering taking Cassie back home to see my family in France for a little bit. His mother and friends have been blowing up my phone, saying I'm being too harsh, and they were harmless texts. Nevertheless, I feel disrespected and that doesn't fly with me. Was I too harsh? Should I accept his claims that he never responded? Edit, not husband, fiance. Also, I'm not taking Cassie to France. We will visit my family for a few weeks and Alex has given consent. Even if he didn't message back, I still think that's not acceptable. He should have told her to stop sending those messages. They're completely inappropriate. So let's just go on to the update and see where this story goes. Update. I'd like to start this off addressing the comments stating I'm kidnapping my daughter. I'm taking her with me to visit my family back home in France for a few weeks. Her father has given his consent. It is a non-issue. There was also confusion about my job. I work in the psychology field and I was just using this post as a sounding board really. The responses from his friends and mother made me question myself. As I stated, I informed Liv's father of what happened. He was furious, both with Alex and Liv. He apologised to me and said he will try to get the truth from her and that she rebels any chance she gets, but this was disgusting. I then looked through the camera in my daughter's nursery and I saw a clip of Liv asking if she wanted a sister or brother from Miss Livy and Daddy. That made me feel sick to my stomach. She responded to her dismissal with denials, but I told her I had the footage and that she was to never lay a hand on my baby again. But if she wanted Alex so bad, she could have him. I reminded her that how you get them is how you lose them, and he would soon tire of a 20-something college dropout kid. Alex returned to the house temporarily for us to talk. After me showing him the camera footage and texts from Liv, he broke down and said he was really sorry. He admitted that whilst nothing had physically happened between them, they had been exchanging photos and messages for a month or two. He showed me the original messages and it was her who had pursued him. She started by saying she felt like a schoolgirl around him and said she needed advice from an important man like him and sent a photo of her in lingerie asking if it was sexy. He started out not really responding, but after a few texts he responded and it started from there. She was saying things about them being a happy family together, but he never responded to those texts. He begged me to forgive him and start fresh. He said we can move and that we have plenty of money. He will do whatever I want. I told him what I want is to go home for a few weeks, so that's what I'm doing. Cassie and I are flying tomorrow. He honestly looks so pathetic right now. They are welcome to each other. There will be no wedding and I will be consulting with a custody lawyer once I get to France to see my options both in the US and internationally. But as someone in the comments said, I stayed in the US not because I think it's a good place to live, but because that's where Alex was based and wanted to build our family. However, I will always support the daughter-father relationship, but he cannot have our daughter and his nanny. Now, that's not happening. I would like to move home and most certainly away from that slutty nanny. I am not looking for custody advice. Mini update from Liv father. He has found and sent me some of the deleted messages. Liv talks about wanting me out of the picture so she can be Cassie's mum. WTF. Yeah, there was no way that he just completely ignored those messages. You would either message back saying, stop, why are you sending me these? Or you're going to respond in a similar fashion. So when he said that he just ignored them, there is no way that I bought that. And obviously OP didn't buy that either. So yeah, but as I said, there is one more final update to this story. Update 2 from France. Hi guys, thanks so much to all of you putting support and advice under my 2 posts. There are also some very obvious insecure incels in the comments claiming I'm kidnapping my daughter. You're giving my sister and I some great laughs. Anyway, for the update. Cassie and I have been in France for 2 days now. It's been so wonderful to be back with my family after missing them for so long. They've been doting on Cassie, especially my mother and father, who, even though our divorce, remain very amicable for the sake of my sisters and I. Mama had a whole room set up with toys and blankets for Cassie. I've also been loving the wine and cheese and gossiping with my sisters. It's been very good to let loose after all of the stress, honestly, and I've gotten to ride my family's horse and show him to Cassie finally. Someone suggested I meet up with some old friends to go out and let loose, so that's exactly what I did last night. I had a great night meeting back up with some of my old university friends. We went out into the city, had some great food and wine and went dancing. There's this one guy from our group who used to be very flirty with me back in the day. Anyways, one thing or another happened and we both ended up going back to his place. It was good actually. He listened to what I wanted and we were both very pleased at the end. Cassie's happy, as am I. I'm meeting a lawyer today and my ex has been ringing. I let him talk to Cassie whenever he wants, but I'm refusing to engage whilst I'm on my break. Edit. People need to calm down. I didn't say I had sex with him. Since people seem to want details, we went back to his, talked about life and had a makeout session. Although it doesn't matter as I had kicked my ex to the curb already. Also, Liv contacted me out of anger when Alex cut all contact with her to show that they had a one-night stand a few weeks before I found out. I'm not sure whether Liv was just saying that just to be vindictive, but who knows? He lied about messaging back, so in this instance he may have actually had the one night stand as well. And who cares if she did sleep with that guy? She is not cheating. She literally broke up with the guy. But it's a bit of a shame that this was the last update. It was posted 2 months ago, so I'm not sure whether we're going to get any further updates, but I feel like it's a bit of a cliffhanger. I wanted to know a bit more about what's happening. I don't think that she is kidnapping the child because, as she said, she had permission to take the child away. But also regarding seeing the lawyer and her saying she wants to stay in France, that could be pretty complicated. So, not sure. I wish we had more to the story. I do feel like we haven't come to the end, but that's all we've got. So leave all your comments below what you think of OP's story and her situation. And if you did like the video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully you'll come back and join me on a new video very soon.